where the legend started. I don't think anyone ever actually lived in the house, though. I think it's just curiosity, because it's like a small town, so no one expects a haunted house in like the small town of Leonardo that no one knows about.
When a person is fearful, they're worried that something bad might happen. The spreading of an urban legend combines our social nature with our concern about bad things happening.
Could you tell me about the legend of the house that you've heard?
There's actually like a few legends. I think the first one is that the brother was having a party in the house on like Halloween, and someone raped his sister and then killed her, and he felt so guilty he went and hung himself in the tree. And everyone thought it was a Halloween decoration, and then it wasn't down the next day and they found out he actually killed himself.
There's another one where he was like sick or something and his wife was taking care of him. And then I guess she went crazy, poisoned him, then killed her kids, and then killed herself.
And I think the most common one is that he just went crazy and killed his home family, the father, and then hung himself. And then the same idea of, on Halloween, everyone thought it was a decoration. But when it didn't come down, they realized he actually killed himself and all the Dempseys were dead. Though I don't really know where the legend started. I don't think anyone ever actually lived in the house, though. It was like built in 1923 on top of a well, and they used it as a pump house. And the actual Dempseys apparently live across the street in a big white house. But no one ever actually lived here, and now the state owns it. Everything's just pretty much speculation about this house. It's probably why there's so many stories about it, because no one really knows, so the story changes every time. Apparently the Dempseys live there, but I'd be afraid to actually go up and knock and be like, hey, do you own a haunted house across the street?
As a psychiatrist, I see a lot of patients who have anxiety, which can be defined as where you are upset about the future, you're afraid of a bad outcome, and when a person is fearful, they're worried that something bad might happen. There is a part of the brain called the amygdala, which can send out worry signals to other parts of the brain, and which communicates with a part of the brain called the hippocampus, involved in memory. And if someone remembers something that either went wrong or was scary, then they might be reminded of the scary or negative experience when they see something else. And so the central nervous system might become more active, and a person might experience nervous physical feelings or nervous thoughts. As humans, we're very social, so the spreading of an urban legend combines our social nature in terms of disseminating information to each other with our concern about bad things happening. So if we're warning each other that something bad might happen, that allows us to prepare for the worst.
Do you know anyone that's gone inside of the house or has any experiences with the house?
Most of my friends are too scared to go in or even go near the house. On Halloween, they all get scared to see someone hanging.
I have a friend, David, when he went in there, he was, holding a flashlight. The glass shattered and he just ran out, apparently.
Some of the people who've snuck in that we've heard of, it was a long time ago, I remember knowing someone who snuck in, and they're all like, oh my gosh, there was a ghost, and we got scared and ran out. But they were also teenagers babysitting a 6-year-old, so they might have been trying to scare them.
It's possible that if we are anticipating the worst, we might carry out a thought experiment and wonder what might happen in the haunted house. And so then our thought experiment could feel real to us, because having thought about it, we have envisioned what the worst case scenario could look like.
Is there any particular reason why you think people are scared of the house?
I just think people are scared just because of how old it is. I mean, seriously.
It's old.
It's abandoned, it's old.
It's kind of eerie looking. If you look at all the other houses on the neighborhood, it doesn't look anything like any of them. It has peanut stone, which is really weird, because that's nowhere, anywhere anymore.
If you think about the look of a home in which a person can relax and feel comfortable, it's clean, it's neat, it's inviting. And if you think about the look of a home where somebody would not feel comfortable, there would be a lot of disorder, a lot of overgrowth, a lot of decay, a lack of hygiene or cleanliness. And so the lack of upkeep of that property can make the property seem uninhabitable. The property could serve as a metaphor. After a person passes away, there is no maintenance or upkeep of the person's physical body. And similarly with the property that you visited, there was no upkeep. So a person might be reminded of a dead corpse, which, like the property, has no upkeep.
And I think the whole fact that supposedly someone killed himself in it just makes it like 20% scarier automatically.
In a violent or dangerous world, we would each like our home to be a safe haven and a place where we can shield ourselves from the dangerousness that lies outside. And if that cocoon or if that safe haven gets violated or breached by dangerousness, then that's very unsettling to each of us, because we want to be able to shield ourselves, at least temporarily, from danger. The more a story is repeated over and over again, the more it takes on the veneer of truthfulness. And if the story seems to match the superficial characteristics of something, the story can seem believable.